Hello everybody, this is ZigZagZog coming to you from somewhere in this world. We're back to continue our playthrough of Empire Total War, featuring Darthmod in a 40 unit saves version. And of course we're playing as Poland-LITHUANIan Commonwealth. And I think I decided between episodes that we are going to be the one that attacks Russia. We're just not going to do it now because we're kind of at the end of a turn. What we will do to end our turn is we will open our diplomacy tab with Russia, and we'll kind of give them a little warning. We'll be nice. We'll telegraph our intentions. We're going to cancel our alliance. There we go. We are going to go back in here and cancel our trade to get a good chance of seeing. They're quite hostile with us now, but everybody else, their attitudes are pretty much the same. So we're going to jump back in here now, and we're going to cancel our military access. And we are going to jump in here one more time, and we are going to cancel our trade agreement. And there you go. Let's see what our income looks like without that trade agreement right now. Yeah, and everybody else, France, Spain, are kind of indifferent. The reason I checked those is Spain is allied with them right now. France is allied with them right now. Georgia and, well, Württemberg we're going to have to keep our eye on also, although they're currently very friendly with us. And also allied with us. And we are much closer to them than Russia. Let's hope they decide to not support Russia. Okay, so I'm just going to check my list. I know of at least one rake that I got to get moving down here, and you know, I've got a couple rakes already over in this area, I believe. Yeah, one in France also. So we're sending this guy east, or maybe eventually towards the Ottoman Empire, but we're going to get him moving. And let me just go through my list, make sure I haven't missed any other rakes or whatnot that I want to move, and then we'll get on with our next turn. All right, we had a gentleman I just moved over here that I had seen. I thought I had already put him on movement to just have him move up here, but apparently I had not. So now he's moving. And let me just double check the last of the rakes. We've not seen any activity for a while around Moscow, so we're just going to kind of head south. See if we can drum up anything that might be happening. Okay, we're done. We're going to start our next turn, and then we're going to declare war and get our armies moving. Now, you might say I'm a little premature because we do have a nice, fine, very good army over here that'll be able to take St. Petersburg. And we know there's somewhere around here there was an army that we've lost track of. So you might say I'm a little premature, but I do have this army that'll be on the move, jumping on my ships, and they should be able to get over to port before the Russian Navy over here can react. And if for some reason I misjudged that, they have a 4th rate and a 5th rate, and so do we. So we'll just cross our fingers that we will not lose our army to this aggressive move. And that's what we're going to do. So we'll take this turn. We'll see you on the other side. Okay, we have a trade agreement with Spain. They would like a military alliance. It's the same thing they've been trying all along. We'll decline. All right, we made it through without any further activity. Let's go see what we have here. Construction report. We got some more farmland, upgrading, and a new town, which is always nice. Let's go over here. We are in Berlin, Brandenburg area, province. Let's get an idea of how we're looking. Now, we do have high Protestant, but it is climbing in our direction now. Public order is still strongly in our favor. And I think we can afford, we have a church already. The seminary, is this? Converts to Catholicism, so that I just wanted to make sure that was in our favor. And we already have a school. And we have a body house already, so we're going industry right here, all the way. All right, now I'm going to see about moving my forces right here into the port and getting them over towards Russian territory as quickly as possible. Let's choose everybody. Hopefully everybody can fit on the ships that we have available. Let's find out. Okay, we can't quite fit them all. It's going to take a couple shuffles back and forth to get the whole army moved, but we're going to start the process. And we're going to move our navy over here is what I'm thinking, into the major fishery here. It gives us a nice road path kind of to the east and towards Russian territory. That's where we're going to start. No! That was my other army, but that's fine. We're still close enough to come back here. And I thought I could have sworn I had highlighted the navy, and apparently I did not. So let's be real clear and definite about it and get this fleet moving. Okay, now let's see about disembarking. And we have our first army over in this territory. In fact, we'll move it over towards the capital here. And we wait to consolidate with the rest of our forces that are following. Now, I don't know if you can make it all the way back. Oh, you sure as heck can. Very good. In fact, if my other army had not been errantly moved away, we could have brought them over this turn too. Instead, we shall have to wait. Oh well. Let's get over here and our infrastructure-wise, construction-wise, why is it still burning? What do we have that still needs to... Oh, here it is. This is the one that needs to be repaired. Let's just get it repaired now that we can afford it. Oh, and this one too, now that we can afford it. I'm tired of seeing the burning building. And we'll repair here. I think we're in good shape as far as devastation is concerned on the map. And it doesn't leave us a lot to finish up with and finish. Let's upgrade some iron workshops and our turn will be done as far as spending money. Now we're going to take our army up here. This is some of the armed forces of Russia made a reappearance here, but we're going to move out and we're going to first of all take the capital, St. Petersburg, and then we'll see about moving against any remnant forces that remain out here. So let's make our move here. Well, once we declare war. And now we got to worry about allies and whatnot. I'm kind of saying let's not call our allies to our aid. And hopefully they'll stay with us and not side with... the only one we'd have to worry about is right here on top. It's the only ally we have in common. But I'm not going to call mine to our side, and we're going to proceed this way. And Russia and Spain, their alliance has broken. So that means Spain's not coming in against us, at least not right away. And same with Russia and France. They have not decided to join and attack. However, Georgia has decided to join Russia, and there you go. That shouldn't be too concerning, I would hope. And we're just going to see if they're going to surrender. They do have they probably will not, since there are reinforcements that come in, can arrive to help them out, but we'll give them a chance to surrender. It is refused, and we have ourselves a battle. The force that's in there is some grenadiers. There's a couple decent units in here. Most of what we're going to have to worry about is, well, it's militia for the most part, decent amount of cavalry, regiment of foot there, some pikemen, but overall we vastly outnumber them. So this is something we really should handle. We have artillery, they do not. So let's get down there and make this happen. Now we're gonna have to remember, if they're coming in from this direction, they could very well be coming in behind us, And it would appear that this force, this single unit, will not be joining as reinforcements. So we got to be prepared for them coming up behind us. And hopefully we won't be surprised that way. So we'll see you down there on the battlefield. Okay, as far as the map, nothing too unusual. Rolling hills, so I think what we'll do is be prepared for somebody coming up behind us. In fact, the edge of the map behind us gives them plenty of room to make an advance against us. But we have, you know, like we said, we outnumber them vastly. We have plenty of opportunity. Let's see, I'm going to keep my... We have demi cannons and 12-pounders. I'm going to go set up, and then we'll come back and take a look at how we've done it. All right, here we are. Their deployment zones off in the distance around the city. I left 3 regiments of artillery over here to bombard the enemy on this side. There it is. 1, 2, and 3, interspersed by pikemen in case someone gets close. They can advance. Otherwise, we got line infantry on the wings here, line infantry on the wings here, a couple cavalry here, a number of cavalry here. In the middle of the whole setup, we have our reserves. They can go forward, they can pivot and go backwards along with the general. We have our howitzers helping to guard the rear in case the reinforcements come over here. And we have a mishmash of troops and cavalry to help us in the center should they appear behind us. So that's the way we're doing it. Everybody's unlimbered and ready to fire. Let's take a look here at where they set up here. And let our bombardment begin, and we'll keep an eye on the map here as far as where they may appear behind us. Or if they're going to appear behind us. And it looks like they may be coming in to the side of us over here instead. Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Their general's bodyguard has entered the fray first. And we fortunately have some cavalry over here to meet up with the general. And we have line infantry in reserve over here that we're going to call on to face in that direction. In fact, they're just going straight to square formation on the wing here. And we'll pivot some more up in this direction. Not much of a charge. These are our lancers, so we're definitely going to want to back them off and continue charging. In fact, the general here is wavering already with the fire and our own cavalry going into them. We're going to back off all our cavalry at this point. And he's winded, so he will reform. We're going to keep our cavalry over here for the moment. We've got to be aware. Their lines right now over here, we should be able to... I shouldn't have to watch them too closely. The general is already recovered and coming back at us, but we have our square formations to help out against that threat. And what we can do is bring our own cavalry back this way. We'll bring our lancers to charge on in and try to cause some impact here on their cavalry, and pretty soon it will result... Oh, we have some more horse coming at us, so we will remain at least in square formation here for the moment. But we're going to have to convert at some point. Fortunately, the land units are mostly militia. In fact, we're going to go square here also. We got to keep our eyes here on this regiment of horse. We are bringing them down. I got to bring our lancers back out because they are not good for melee, and they've broken. So we're going to bring our lancers to charge over this way if they can. And we're going to chase down these broken cavalry here to try and prevent them from returning. And we've broken the backs of this unit. So we're going to bring our lancers all the way through now. And we're going to revert back to line formation because the militia is getting close. Okay, we've shattered that unit. We're going to turn around and see if we can't shatter this unit of horse. and it's time to withdraw. We are out of line formation. We're going to get back into line formation here, and we're going to see if we can't withdraw this unit and bring some more support over in this direction. That's where most of the battle is taking place. Our howitzers, fortunately, are able to fire. Let's get ourselves lined up here. And we're not able to retreat. I have a feeling this unit is, unfortunately, the 10th Regiment is going to fail us as we try to get them to retreat. Let's try to run this unit up there. It looks like we just got a lot of hand-to-hand going on the front lines at the moment. At least with the militia. So let's oblige and get the hand-to-hand going. We'll bring our own units in. And rough them up as much as we can. Well, that's not the unit I wanted to retreat. Let's come back up here. And face the onslaught once again, in hopefully more organized fashion now. Well, we're still battling their troops that are in the midst of us again. They're just continuing to close in hand-to-hand. So what we're going to do is charge in here. I have more units that we can bring into the fray, and we're going to do just that as backups. We have more cavalry which we can bring over to help us. We're going to bring them over to the side and start charging these guys in the rear, because that seems to be the biggest chunk of their reinforcements now that are on the field. Pull our lancers back. And we're going to pivot this unit. Oh wait, we got one here. We're still going to pivot this unit. And we're repulsing their forces. We're going to start running them down so they do not reform and come back at us. We do have the Grenadiers, are the random unit that's roaming around in the rear over here. As far as their forces over here, any that advanced on us have been taken care of. There's a couple here, look, probably behind walls that we're going to have to move out to take on here in a moment once this is under control and I don't have to keep my attentions over here. We've shattered that unit. We've shattered that unit. So we're going to come back here and see if we can't shatter this unit, some of these other broken units, and then we'll figure out what to do. And we've shattered that unit. So it is time. We are going to advance against the Grenadiers, and I think we'll take some fresh troops forward. We have the Texas Foreign Volunteers. They're going to help us out moving forward against the Grenadiers. In fact, I want 3 regiments moving forward is what I'm ideally wanting. I do not want to have some Grenadier unit overwhelm us somehow, since they do tend to be cream of the crop. So we're going to bring these units forward. And we have the grenadiers that are maneuvering, coming towards us. So we'll pull the cavalry back. As our line infantry moves forward. In fact, the grenadiers are moving off in this direction, so shall we. And they're starting to get bombarded by artillery. And who do we have advancing on us here? Garrison line infantry, so they're coming out of their wall protections here to advance on us. I think we'll be just fine with our cannon. And we will kind of pivot this way. And now we got to focus in. They're moving over here now. So we're going to make sure we keep adjusting ourselves. And we'll pull back the cavalry to give them a breather. And the grenadiers are apparently running, is what it looks like. They're going to tire themselves out big time. We're not going to oblige and run after them. We're just going to keep following them, wearing them down. We are still eager. We are still fresh. They are exhausted, very tired. We'll bring some cavalry support with the infantry here. And the other unit we brought forward is almost caught back up also. Okay, we have garrison militia again behind the walls where the grenadiers are moving towards. I think what we need to do is we have tons of cavalry. We need to start routing them out of their positions and bringing the cavalry forward. And these guys are highly depleted. They shouldn't last much longer. In fact, we're going to just charge in some cavalry here to just knock them out. And there they go. That's all it took. Let's get the regiments of foot over here to take on the grenadiers that have finally stopped moving. And we're going to just go straight on in against... In fact, we're going to stop the bombardments right now because we should be able to take care of things without the bombardments right now. And I would like to kind of see if we can secure or save some friendly casualties. We're rousting them away from their wall position now. And our own line is closing in on the grenadiers. The only thing we want to do is back off, because they'll put the pressure on with casualties on the cavalry. We want our line infantry over here to take care of them. I'm not sure who is continuing the bombardment here. I thought I silenced all my guns, because it did not look like howitzer fire to me, but it looks like everybody should be silenced now. And I think we can afford to run now. And we are still getting bombardment, so it's got to be the howitzers that are landing over here. We're going to put a halt to that. Let the final battle begin. They're shooting over here at our cavalry. I don't like that. Let's move our cavalry out. Texas Foreign Volunteers are in place. Everybody's now in place, and we're firing into their rear. We're going to advance over here with the Texas Foreign Volunteers as they continue advancing towards our cavalry. So let's do that at a run so we can take them out. Like they're just about in position to start firing, and the question is, can we see enough of them from this position? Because they're over the rise in the hill. So what we're going to do is just to make... Oh, no, they're breaking. We're able to see them enough, and they are shattered. So that should be just about it. There we go. The battle is over. We're just going to end it as opposed to run down right now. And we lost 1,082 to their almost complete destruction of 3,299. Okay, so we have taken over St. Petersburg. It is now ours. They do have remnant forces over here, but that's all it is at best, is remnant forces. So I think we're going to stay put here right at the moment as we rebuild coming up, because we'll need it for the public order in St. Petersburg. And as long as our army is there, the situation is okay. And we're going to try and... So we have the region, the first step in our conquest of Russia. And we gained some perks here. Let's just take a look at those. +2 morale in battle. And this army has made its move. What we're going to do is I'm gonna move this, now that we see where these armies are. Let's get the rate kind of over here in general, around where they are. Now there should be a depleted army that retreated, and we don't know exactly where. I'm going to follow up the road a little bit, see if we can track them down if they went this way. And it looks like, yeah, they have retreated up here. And that's where we're going to have to make our push. Fortunately, with all the forces here, we are in good shape as far as the size of our army versus the armed forces we know of that we're up against right now. Let's get in here and see if we can do any kind of replenishment to our army. And to replenish fully, we can't afford it, but let's get it started. Okay, this army is parked here. And then Ottomans didn't join in either. Now, mid-turn, what you didn't see is we found whatever forces were down here from Russia on the Crimean Peninsula here. They were chased up right here, and the little remnants were defeated. So I'm not aware if we're gonna find any other. Yeah, it's no Russian forces left down here. They got handled pretty rough. So we're going to continue our rake over in this direction, see if we can't... That's the ironworks. Where is the capital over here? Now it's Kiev. And we've been near Kiev and did not see an army there. So we're gonna push a little more. Well, we got battles going on with Russia back here, so we're going to push more to the interior, see if we can find some more of their forces. moving this way. It's the last thing I want to do. I have so many rakes. I do not want to be surprised by some army I lost track of or wasn't aware of. Okay. All right, so we're going to end our turn here and head on to the next turn and see if there's any kind of response that happens from the Russian Empire. All right, the turn ended without incident. We have finished the craft workshops in Hungary. We have gained a trait, 1+1 morale in battle over in, for not doing anything here, over in Istanbul. So there was a lot of movement. We're starting to see hints of forces. They did some recruiting in Kiev, so there's a small unit there. And there is a unit coming back from who knows where it was back here. They are not significant forces. So at least at the moment, I don't feel like we have to worry about being vastly surprised. What could happen is my armies are going to end up being more to the north, at least temporarily. So maybe I can, when I get this army moving, we can kind of move them down in the Kiev direction to address any armies they have in the south. I feel like our armies in the north are up to the task here. Their main force is retreated here. The remnant forces are moving back to the interior in various directions. So we should be able to deal with the situation here. First thing I'm going to do, just so I make sure I do it correctly, is let's go find out. They have an army here. We just have to make sure we reinforce and go around. Let's get our army over here. We'll get them loaded up. We'll get our navy moving. There we go. We're doing some weird things with the icon there. Let's get moving to our port here. And there we go. Let's offload. And we can consolidate our forces. But what I'm going to do is I'm not going to consolidate right now because this is fairly significant force even as it is. I'm just going to start getting them moving along the road this way so that we can then come down. Eventually I want to get down here to Kiev. So we're going to start in that path right here. And then we'll have the remainder of the army just be following along as best as possible. And then we'll have to decide if we want to try blockading these guys in. I have not protected any of my ports over here, so what we're going to do is recruit some militia to send into the port and push the Russian Navy out of the port. In the meantime, just so we have backup and I can afford it, I'm going to naval recruit another fourth rate, and that'll be ready in 2 turns. So I'm not too worried if I match up ship to ship 2-on-2 here, and we may try a naval battle coming up, depending on how that works out. And Sweden, how are we looking public order wise? We still got to kind of stick it out there a little bit longer. I could exempt them from taxes, but I want the income at the moment. Let's go see about the army there at least, and let's see if we can upgrade and re-recruit. Okay, there's not much left to get the army back at full force. And we're going to take care of these remnants right now because we don't need them just wandering around destroying our infrastructure. So let's bring this force out and make an attack. And this one, well, we only, the missile cavalry even, look at that. They do have some artillery in this unit, but you know, once again, we vastly outnumber them. The only reinforcements are the missile cavalry. Let's just do this one. Okay, looks like You know what? Since we vastly outnumber them, I think we're just going to go with the initial setup that the system gives us, except for I see none of our artillery, so they're probably all bunched up back here. So I'm just going to set the artillery, keep everything the same, all the rest of the setup the same for speed's sake, and we'll be right back. All right, we got the artillery put out. We just put them front and center. We do outnumber, so I'm not going to take a lot of time. The howitzers are in the rear to shoot over the top, and we'll go from there. Let's get this battle started. And they are quite a ways in the distance. And as far as reinforcements, well, they're right behind us. We need to get back here with our own cavalry and deal with them. And this unit will just go into square formation since they're the closest infantry. And we should handle these guys. And then what we'll do is we'll turn around once we take care of the reinforcements, because it's all they have, and we'll orient ourselves forward. And I would hope, being not so much melee units, that we should take them out fairly fast, I would hope. They're wavering, they are shaken. They are surrounded. So I do have some lancers in here. It does look like, no, that's regiment of horse. They're failing. We have driven them off. Now it's time. They are shattered. We'll chase down what we can, but they're probably off the map, and we will turn ourselves forward. They are advancing through our fire. I do not see or locate where their own artillery might be. Oh, it's been wiped out by our own. So there we go. We need to root out the Cossack infantry over here, and I think that's a wonderful job for our cavalry. And we'll start taking our line, various elements of line infantry. It's kind of a mishmash, and get them advancing. And I think we'll push ourselves to run forward to get into position before they also get there. And let's get some of our cavalry not doing a frontal attack against the Cossacks. But seeing if we can't fire or charge more into the rear, unless of course they've turned to face us now. This unit has stopped, so we need to keep the pressure up. We are still fresh, so we'll take this new position at a run. And we're going to start bringing more line infantry forward. We do have a little more cavalry over on this wing. readjust this part of the line now up here. They are under fire. Now, what have we got left back here? Our cavalry is chasing them down. It's time to get our cavalry moving in against the general's bodyguard and overwhelm the general. Getting fired on from multiple angles. They should not be able to hold up a lot longer. And they are broken. They have nowhere to run because if they wherever they run, they're going to come into the line of fire of more of our line infantry. And it looks like we've taken out the general's unit. And we're just going to continue our charging in. They are in full retreat. They are indeed shattered. So we're going to continue our march forward. And we're probably taking heavier than normal casualties on our cavalry, because we're getting fired on and we're just charging in, being shot at as we charge. Let's see if we can come out wide, guys. We got them shattered, and we have a final assault against those dug in on the wall. In fact, we aren't even going to worry about coming around their rear. We got our cavalry here that can work on that. And I imagine the engagement will soon be over. We just had such vast numbers of cavalry available that we just overwhelmed their fire that they tried to bring against us. We're just gonna, it is open field, we're just gonna run down who we can, and we'll be right back once that's done. All right, and we have our decisive victory. Few units did manage to get away, but nothing significant. All right, looks like out of their forces of over 2,000, there's only about 280 remaining. And they are in full retreat. We're going to take ourselves back in here, and we are going to see if we have the funds to replenish them, and we do now, able to get everybody replenished. We're also going to see if we can help rebuild our St. Petersburg here. We're going to start with the two most important buildings that we need. The others aren't as important. I just hate burning cities, so we will repair them also. And that does it. Our trait gained is +2 morale in battles, and I guess what we'll do is we'll kind of leave it here. We will take our rake and finish. No, we're not gonna infiltrate. I just wanted you to be outside to try and keep eyes on the forces over here and see exactly what we're dealing with as much as possible. All right. So I will move. We will come back next time to continue the battle. We now have 2 armies. We'll see if that's enough. They're significant armies once they join up to continue the push into the Russian Empire. Hope you enjoyed today's battles and the initial attacks on Russia today. This is ZigZagZog signing off from somewhere in this world. Thanks so much for watching, and I do hope to see you next time.